I'm the rightful heiress, deliberately switched at birth. I grew up in the gutter among scoundrels, seeing the darkest sides of the world.
Miss Wright, please come in. Miss and Mrs. Wright are waiting for you.
Today marks my first day back in my real family.
So this is the lost heiress? She looks like a country bumpkin.
Keep your voice down. I heard that she'd seduced her adoptive father when she was 12 and almost killed her adoptive mother. She's a born troublemaker.
Ruby Wright, you're a good-for-nothing. I've taken you in all these years. It's time you repay me.
Bastard. If you can't control your urges, I'll make sure you lose it.
Ruby Wright! You slut! How dare you seduce my husband! I'll fight you to the end!
Stop spouting nonsense. Get back to work. Miss Ruby, Mr. Ian has made it clear. Don't try to steal Miss Zena's spotlight. She's been spoiled and can't handle any kind of slight.
Miss Xenia?
Yes, please follow me.
Steal her spotlight? Someone who survived the gutter doesn't care for anyone's attention or pity. I want money and power I can actually call my own.
Mr. and Mrs. Wright, Miss Wright is back.
Yes, the resemblance is uncanny. You're definitely my daughter.
My dear! You must have suffered. Now that you're back, those tough days are over. All right?
The Wrights seem somewhat guilty toward me, except for my brother and adopted sister.
Now that you're reunited, I won't get in the way.
Xenia! Xenia!
Xenia's been spoiled her whole life. She can't handle it yet. Try to cut her some slack. Alright?
Cut her some slack? Why should I? Why should I cut her any slack? She's the one who's lived in luxury for 16 years, while I was treated like dirt in her house.
It has nothing to do with her. Xenia doesn't know anything. She's a victim too.
Does that mean you've decided to let her stay?
I understand how you feel, but you know what kind of people that family is. After all, I raised Xenia. I couldn't bring myself to send her to hell.
All right, I get it. But I'm your flesh and blood, while she's adopted. I don't want our positions confused.
You're both daughters of the Wright family. There's no difference between you two. Besides, Xenia's been feeling guilty and upset. If we tell others she's adopted... Dad, Xenia has been spoiled by us. She can't handle it.
Ruby.
She's never faced real hardship, but I grew up abused. So you think my life is worthless, and I can accept this. Am I right?
That's not what I mean.
Letting her stay is my biggest concession. If you think the adopted daughter is more important, you can send me back.
All right, Ruby. I promise you.
Sure enough, just showing my trauma is enough to stir guilt in my so-called family. After all, it's human nature to favor the weak.
Dad, this is...
Enough. Ruby has suffered so much out there. Now that she's finally back, I'll never let her suffer again.
But...
Ruby, you must be tired after your journey. Your mom has a room ready for you. Let's go see it.
Sure. Dad, I don't like this room. It's too small.
You're quite picky. Well, your countryside house is better than this?
Don't talk to her like that. Ruby, just tell me what kind of room that you want. I'll get it arranged.
I want to check out that room.
Sure.
Dad.
Mom, just let me go. I don't want to get in Ruby's way. She's a real daughter.
Nonsense! You'll always be my daughter. I won't let you leave, all right?
Mom is right. Xenia, you'll always be my sister. No one can ever change that.
Ian.
Dad, I'll take this room. I like everything about it. But I want to get a new set of furniture.
Ruby, what do you mean? It's all right. Don't cry. I won't allow anyone to mistreat you. Ruby, this is Xenia's room. Your room is next door. Ian will take you there. Huh?
This isn't the place to throw a tantrum. Come with me.
I've seen the room next door. There's no balcony, no walk-in closet. I don't want to live there.
Ruby, be good.
The adopted daughter gets the big room, while the real daughter gets the small room. How does that make any sense?
What adopted daughter? Both you and Xenia are my daughters. I know you're upset, but Xenia is a victim too.
Mom, please let me go. I don't want to be in Ruby's way.
Xenia, this is your room. No one can kick you out.
You both say she's the victim. But for the past 16 years, she's lived as a spoiled princess, while I was treated like an animal. Wait. Her real parents do care about her. Otherwise, they wouldn't have switched us. Had our lives not been switched, she wouldn't have suffered like I did. Fortunately, I was lucky enough to return. Otherwise, I wouldn't even know how to escape them. I'm back. But you and the adopted daughter have already grown attached. If you want her to stay, she'll live comfortably because our family is wealthy and powerful. She obviously benefits the most. Yet you call her the victim. Now, my own mother and brother are putting me in the small room, while she gets the big one. If that's what being a victim is, I want to be one too.
Ruby, the past is the past. Stop dwelling on it. Just because you suffered, do you have to make Xenia suffer too? How can you be so cruel?
Silence! Ruby, I know you suffered a lot. Tell me what you want. I'll sort it out.
Thank you, Dad. Can we get all the furniture changed in 3 hours?
Dad.
Oh. Sure. I promise you, Xenia will clear the room for you shortly.
Xenia, I get that you're upset. It's okay to switch rooms, huh? This bangle is a family heirloom. I'm giving it to you now. You'll always be a Wright.
Thank you, Mom. But Ruby just got back. You should give her this family heirloom as a welcome gift.
Xenia, you're so thoughtful. Ruby doesn't...
Thank you. I've never actually worn any jewelry before. This bangle is so pretty. I love it.
Sue, make sure they bring over more clothes and jewelry. Ruby has been through so much. We need to give her everything she's been missing.
All right. I'll make the arrangements. Xenia, I'll take you to your new room.
Dad, I'm going with them.
Dad, did I say something wrong?
My dear, I know you've been hurt.
Dad, Mom and Ian are so unfair. And they don't care about me at all. I don't like them. From now on, you're the only family I have.
Silly girl. You're just overthinking. They really do care about you. Don't worry. As long as I'm here, you'll be well taken care of.
I don't let myself get pushed around. I don't want to struggle later in life. John is the only person I need to win over.
Ruby, how are the Wrights? Are they nice? Do they treat you well?
Everything's under control. Don't worry.
Only a fool would worry about you. It's the Wrights who should be worried. Looks like they've let you down after all.
The Wright family's wealth hasn't disappointed me. I'm very pleased with everything.
Today's Ruby's first day at school. Xenia, you're popular. Be sure to watch out for Ruby.
Don't worry. I'll take good care of her. Ian has already given his student council friends a heads up, right?
Mom, Dad, don't worry. No one in Jackson would dare to mess with us Wrights.
All right. Ruby, call me if anything happens at school, all right?
Dad, don't worry. If anything happens, it won't be me. It'll be someone else.
Settle down, everyone. Meet our new classmate, Ruby Wright. Come on in.
Who is she? I've never seen her before.
I saw you guys getting out of the same car. Is she your relative?
She's my new runt.
Her new runt? What's she talking about? What?
This is our new classmate, Ruby Wright. Would any of you like to share a desk with her?
There's an open seat right in front of me. The new girl can sit here. We'll make sure to take good care of her.
Nice to meet you all. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ruby Wright. My dad is John Wright of Wright Corp. I'm his only daughter. By the way, Xenia's biological mother used to be a nanny in my family. She selfishly swapped my identity with hers, but my parents were kind enough to adopt Xenia as their own daughter.
Really? Turns out Xenia is a fake heiress. Fake heiress?
Shut up!
Who did this?
Why are you looking at me? Ruby, have you lost your mind?
I'm just tidying up.
Quiet down, everyone. Guys, help tidy up the place. From now on, anyone who brings this kind of junk into the classroom will face school discipline.
Thank you.
You don't have to be so formal. If you need anything, just let me know.
How dare you announce this without telling Mom and Dad? They won't let you get away with it.
I'm their biological daughter. I'm just telling the truth. What can they possibly do?
I'll show you who the real daughter of the Wright family is.
Hey!
I'm starving. Let's eat.
Yeah, let's go.
Ruby, Jim Shaw wants you at the student council office.
Who's Jim Shaw? Why is he asking for me?
He's the future heir of the Shaw family. He was engaged to Xenia from a young age. They grew up together and were very close.
I see. Do you mean the Shaw family, one of Jackson's two biggest powers, along with the Wrights?
You shouldn't go first. Call your family. If your dad steps in, Jim probably won't give you a hard time.
Thank you. But no need for that. So this is the charm of money. I love it. I used to scrape by the bottom of the city. Now, I'm at the very top of the wealth and power ladder.
Look who showed up. You've got some nerve.
Don't you know how to greet someone? Where are your manners? Don't you know how to greet someone? Huh? Where are your manners?
You want me to greet you? Who do you think you are?
You're asking for it.
My dear sister, why are you acting so aggressive? He was just joking.
Really? Does that mean I can joke with you like this? Also, I'm not your sister. We're not related by blood.
Ruby, don't say that. You're scaring me.
My family has taken care of you. But you didn't defend me while I was being bullied. You even turned your back on me. You're such an ungrateful brat.
That's not true.
Shut up, Ruby Wright. I'm warning you. Xenia is my fiancée. If you dare bully her, you will regret it.
How so?
Trust me, you don't want to know.
Injunction. If Jim wants someone gone, it's as simple as saying so. Apologize to Xenia now, or you'll be in trouble.
Get on your knees and apologize.
You're laughing? Are you crazy?
Foreign people are full of illnesses. Stay away from her. You might catch it.
We don't have a monarchy anymore. You really think you're Jackson's prince? Just because your minions treat you like one?
Ruby, know your place. If you bother Xenia again, you'll wish you weren't born.
How disgusting. I hate touching filthy stuff.
Ruby, are you crazy? How dare you lay a hand on Jim?
Shut up. Who are you to raise your voice at me?
You're the one who should shut up. A hillbilly like you has no right to boss her around.
Jim, don't be mad. Ruby is the Wright's real daughter. I should be thankful she even lets me stay in the house.
Xenia, she's bullying you because you're kind. Your parents do see you as their own. Besides, you've got me. No one can hurt you.
She's a nobody who thinks she can throw her weight around here.
No wonder Ian asked us to watch out for Xenia. He knew you'd pick on her.
Ian and Jim both have Xenia's back. Do yourself a favor and apologize to her.
So you told me to come here just to slap a label on me and put me in my place? Please, you're not even worthy. What a bunch of cowards.
Ruby!
Don't touch me.
Xenia, are you okay?
No, I'm fine, Jim. Ruby didn't mean it.
I warned you. You will pay for messing with Xenia.
You started it. Trash.
You're such a bitch!
Jim, how are you?
I hear this seat's called the throne. I'll admit it. It does feel like it.
Ruby, it's one thing for you to bully me. How dare you hurt Jim so badly? If he's injured, the Shaw family won't spare you.
Why are you yelling at me? You're scaring me. How terrifying. How do schools usually handle student fighting? I think we're supposed to report it to a teacher. Mr. Bart, Jim Shaw hit me.
What? Was it a misunderstanding?
No. I hit him too.
Jim, it's all my fault. If it weren't for me, Ruby wouldn't have laid a hand on you.
It's not your fault. She bullied you first. I won't let anyone hurt you.
Jim, how could you hit John's daughter? What's going on?
She didn't hold back either.
Huh? Are you injured anywhere?
You're despicable.
Mrs. Shaw, I'm sorry. Jim only fought Ruby because he was defending me.
It has nothing to do with you. She started it.
You must be the Wright's long-lost daughter. You look just like your father. Are you badly hurt?
I'm fine. Just some temporarily ringing. My hearing's fine now.
She's not fine. She nearly ruptured her eardrum. Alas, kids these days.
Ruby, I apologize on Jim's behalf. Don't worry. My husband and I won't let him off the hook.
Xenia, are you all right?
Mom, I'm fine.
Oh, that's good to hear. I'm glad it's nothing serious. Ruby? What happened to your face?
Mom, it's all my fault. If it weren't for me, Jim wouldn't have fought with Ruby.
She hit you first. Stop taking the blame.
She hit you? Ruby, you've gone too far.
Ruby, how could you hit Xenia? I told you. Both you and Xenia are my daughters. Stop picking on her.
Xenia Wright, you're quite the actor.
Ian, I wasn't acting. I don't understand why Ruby would frame me.
Shut up. You've been talking for ages. Now, it's my turn to speak. Can anyone tell me what runt means?
Who is she? I've never seen her before.
I saw you guys getting out of the same car. Is she your relative?
She's my new runt. No, it wasn't me.
If you cross someone in the student council, they'll call you a runt. The runt is bullied by the entire school. Surely you know that. Well, why are you silent?
Xenia, what's going on? How can you say that about Ruby?
Blood ties are really strange. Your real parents treat me like a dog, and you call me a runt. In that sense, you're just like them.
Ruby, knock it off. We'll deal with it at home.
You had no problem scolding me just now, but the moment it comes to Xenia, you make me shut up. You're truly Xenia's devoted brother. And mother.
To me, you're all the same.
This is how school's foreign, where everyone calls Xenia the queen. The moment Xenia declared me a runt, the entire school was thrilled. They were figuring out how to torment me to win her favor. Shall I share it? With everyone? No? Forget it then. The students here are incredibly efficient. When the teacher brought me to class, my desk was already covered with trash. Even my new books had been ripped to shreds. The teachers here are just as efficient. As soon as I requested the CCTV footage from the homeroom teacher, I had it by the second period.
Here it is.
Are you sure you don't want me to send it? Not sure you'll see it clearly. Xenia sat behind me, smiling as they tore my books. We sure paid a lot to raise such a fine mutt. For my own safety, I told my classmates that I'm the real daughter of the Wright family. Xenia didn't like that. She told me she'd show me who the Wright family's real daughter is. Then she skipped class and ran off. Looking back now, she must have gone off to find Jim. Who's looking for me?
Jim Shaw wants you at the student council office. He'll be mad if you're late.
I'm the rightful heiress deliberately switched at birth. I grew up in the gutter among scoundrels, seeing the darkest sides of the world.
Miss Wright, please come in. Miss and Mrs. Wright are waiting for you.
Today marks my first day back in my real family.
So this is the lost heiress? She looks like a country bumpkin.
Keep your voice down. I heard that she'd seduced her adoptive father when she was 12 and almost killed her adoptive mother. She's a born troublemaker.
Ruby Wright, you're good for nothing. I've taken you in all these years. It's time you repay me.
Bastard. If you can't control your urges, I'll make sure you lose it.
Ruby Wright! You slut! How dare you seduce my husband! I'll fight you to the end!
Stop spouting nonsense. Get back to work. Miss Ruby, Mr. Ian has made it clear. Don't try to steal Miss Xenia's spotlight. She's been spoiled and can't handle any kind of slight.
Miss Xenia?
Yes, please follow me.
Steal her spotlight? Someone who survived the gutter doesn't care for anyone's attention or pity. I want money and power I can actually call my own.
Mr. and Mrs. Wright. Miss Wright is back.
Yes, the resemblance is uncanny. You're definitely my daughter.
My dear! You must have suffered. Now that you're back, those tough days are over. All right?
The Wrights seem somewhat guilty toward me, except for my brother and adopted sister.
Now that you're reunited, I won't get in the way.
Xenia! Xenia!
Xenia's been spoiled her whole life. She can't handle it yet. Try to cut her some slack. Alright?
Cut her some slack? Why should I? Why should I cut her any slack? She's the one who's lived in luxury for 16 years, while I was treated like dirt in her house.
It has nothing to do with her. Xenia doesn't know anything. She's a victim too.
Does that mean you've decided to let her stay?
I understand how you feel, but you know what kind of people that family is. After all, I raised Xenia. I couldn't bring myself to send her to hell.
All right, I get it. But I'm your flesh and blood, while she's adopted. I don't want our positions confused.
You're both daughters of the Wright family. There's no difference between you two. Besides, Xenia's been feeling guilty and upset. If we tell others she's adopted... Dad, Xenia has been spoiled by us. She can't handle it.
Ruby.
She's never faced real hardship, but I grew up abused. So you think my life is worthless, and I can accept this. Am I right?
That's not what I mean.
Letting her stay is my biggest concession. If you think the adopted daughter is more important, you can send me back.
All right, Ruby. I promise you.
Sure enough, just showing my trauma is enough to stir guilt in my so-called family. After all, it's human nature to favor the weak.
Dad, this is...
Enough. Ruby has suffered so much out there. Now that she's finally back, I'll never let her suffer again.
But...
Ruby, you must be tired after your journey. Your mom has a room ready for you. Let's go see it.
Sure. Dad, I don't like this room. It's too small.
You're quite picky. Well, your countryside house is better than this?
Don't talk to her like that. Ruby, just tell me what kind of room that you want. I'll get it arranged.
I want to check out that room.
Sure.
Dad.
Mom, just let me go. I don't want to get in Ruby's way. She's your real daughter.
Nonsense! You'll always be my daughter. I won't let you leave, all right?
Mom is right. Xenia, you'll always be my sister. No one can ever change that.
Ian.
Dad, I'll take this room. I like everything about it. But I want to get a new set of furniture.
Ruby, what do you mean? It's all right. Don't cry. I won't allow anyone to mistreat you. Ruby, this is Xenia's room. Your room is next door. Ian will take you there. Huh?
This isn't the place to throw a tantrum. Come with me.
I've seen the room next door. There's no balcony, no walk-in closet. I don't want to live there.
Ruby, be good.
The adopted daughter gets the big room, while the real daughter gets the small room. How does that make any sense?
What adopted daughter? Both you and Xenia are my daughters. I know you're upset, but Xenia is a victim too.
Mom, please let me go. I don't want to be in Ruby's way.
Xenia, this is your room. No one can kick you out.
You both say she's the victim. But for the past 16 years, she's lived as a spoiled princess, while I was treated like an animal. Wait. Her real parents do care about her. Otherwise, they wouldn't have switched us. Had our lives not been switched, she wouldn't have suffered like I did. Fortunately, I was lucky enough to return. Otherwise, I wouldn't even know how to escape them. I'm back. But you and the adopted daughter have already grown attached. If you want her to stay, she'll live comfortably because our family is wealthy and powerful. She obviously benefits the most. Yet you call her the victim. Now, my own mother and brother are putting me in the small room while she gets the big one. If that's what being a victim is, I want to be one too.
Ruby, the past is the past. Stop dwelling on it. Just because you suffered, do you have to make Xenia suffer too? How can you be so cruel?
Silence! Ruby, I know you suffered a lot. Tell me what you want. I'll sort it out.
Thank you, Dad. Can we get all the furniture changed in 3 hours?
Dad.
Oh. Sure. I promise you, Xenia will clear the room for you shortly.
Xenia, I get that you're upset. It's okay to switch rooms, huh? This bangle is a family heirloom. I'm giving it to you now. You'll always be a Wright.
Thank you, Mom. But Ruby just got back. You should give her this family heirloom as a welcome gift.
Xenia, you're so thoughtful. Ruby doesn't...
Thank you. I've never actually worn any jewelry before. This bangle is so pretty. I love it.
Sue, make sure they bring over more clothes and jewelry. Ruby has been through so much. We need to give her everything she's been missing.
All right. I'll make the arrangements. Xenia, I'll take you to your new room.
Dad, I'm going with them.
Dad, did I say something wrong?
My dear, I know you've been hurt.
Dad, Mom and Ian are so unfair. And they don't care about me at all. I don't like them. From now on, you're the only family I have.
Silly girl, you're just overthinking. They really do care about you. Don't worry. As long as I'm here, you'll be well taken care of.
I don't let myself get pushed around. I don't want to struggle later in life. John is the only person I need to win over.
Ruby, how are the Wrights? Are they nice? Do they treat you well?
Everything's under control. Don't worry.
Only a fool would worry about you. It's the Wrights who should be worried. Looks like they've let you down after all.
The Wright family's wealth hasn't disappointed me. I'm very pleased with everything.
Today's Ruby's first day at school. Xenia, you're popular. Be sure to watch out for Ruby.
Don't worry. I'll take good care of her. Ian has already given his student council friends a heads up, right?
Mom, Dad, don't worry. No one in Jackson would dare to mess with us Wrights.
All right. Ruby, call me if anything happens at school, all right?
Dad, don't worry. If anything happens, it won't be me. It'll be someone else.
Settle down, everyone. Meet our new classmate, Ruby Wright. Come on in.
Who is she? I've never seen her before.
I saw you guys getting out of the same car. Is she your relative?
She's my new runt.
Her new runt? What's she talking about? What?
This is our new classmate, Ruby Wright. Would any of you like to share a desk with her?
There's an open seat right in front of me. The new girl can sit here. We'll make sure to take good care of her.
Nice to meet you all. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ruby Wright. My dad is John Wright of Wright Corp. I'm his only daughter. By the way, Xenia's biological mother used to be a nanny in my family. She selfishly swapped my identity with hers, but my parents were kind enough to adopt Xenia as their own daughter.
Really? Turns out Xenia is a fake heiress.
Fake heiress?
Shut up!
Who did this?
Why are you looking at me? Ruby, have you lost your mind?
I'm just tidying up.
Quiet down, everyone. Guys, help tidy up the place. From now on, anyone who brings this kind of junk into the classroom will face school discipline.
Thank you.
You don't have to be so formal. If you need anything, just let me know.
How dare you announce this without telling Mom and Dad? They won't let you get away with it.
I'm their biological daughter. I'm just telling the truth. What can they possibly do?
I'll show you who the real daughter of the Wright family is.
Hey!
I'm starving. Let's eat.
Yeah, let's go.
Ruby, Jim Shaw wants you at the student council office.
Who's Jim Shaw? Why is he asking for me?
He's the future heir of the Shaw family. He was engaged to Xenia from a young age. They grew up together and were very close.
I see. Do you mean the Shaw family, one of Jackson's two biggest powers, along with the Wrights?
You shouldn't go first. Call your family. If your dad steps in, Jim probably won't give you a hard time.
Thank you. But no need for that. So this is the charm of money. I love it. I used to scrape by the bottom of the city. Now, I'm at the very top of the wealth and power ladder.
Look who showed up. You've got some nerve.
Don't you know how to greet someone? Where are your manners? Don't you know how to greet someone? Huh? Where are your manners?
You want me to greet you? Who do you think you are?
You're asking for it.
My dear sister, why are you acting so aggressive? He was just joking.
Really? Does that mean I can joke with you like this? Also, I'm not your sister. We're not related by blood.
Ruby, don't say that. You're scaring me.
My family has taken care of you. But you didn't defend me while I was being bullied. You even turned your back on me. You're such an ungrateful brat.
That's not true.
Shut up! Ruby Wright, I'm warning you. Xenia is my fiancée. If you dare bully her, you will regret it.
How so?
Trust me, you don't want to know.
Injunction. If Jim wants someone gone, it's as simple as saying so. Apologize to Xenia now, or you'll be in trouble.
Get on your knees and apologize.
You're laughing? Are you crazy?
Forest people are full of illnesses. Stay away from her. You might catch it.
We don't have a monarchy anymore. You really think you're Jackson's prince? Just because your minions treat you like one?
Ruby, know your place. If you bother Xenia again, you'll wish you weren't born.
How disgusting. I hate touching filthy stuff.
Ruby, are you crazy? How dare you lay a hand on Jim?
Shut up. Who are you to raise your voice at me?
You're the one who should shut up. A hillbilly like you has no right to boss her around.
Jim, don't be mad. Ruby is the Wright's real daughter. I should be thankful she even lets me stay in the house.
Xenia, she's bullying you because you're kind. Your parents do see you as their own. Besides, you've got me. No one can hurt you.
She's a nobody who thinks she can throw her weight around here.
No wonder Ian asked us to watch out for Xenia. He knew you'd pick on her.
Ian and Jim both have Xenia's back. Do yourself a favor and apologize to her.
So you told me to come here just to slap a label on me and put me in my place? Please, you're not even worthy. What a bunch of cowards.
Ruby!
Don't touch me.
Xenia, are you okay?
No, I'm fine, Jim. Ruby didn't mean it.
I warned you. You will pay for messing with Xenia.
You started it. Trash.
You're such a bitch!
Jim, how are you?
I hear this seat's called the throne. I'll admit it. It does feel like it.
Ruby, it's one thing for you to bully me. How dare you hurt Jim so badly? If he's injured, the Shaw family won't spare you.
Why are you yelling at me? You're scaring me. How terrifying. How do schools usually handle student fighting? I think we're supposed to report it to a teacher. Mr. Bart, Jim Shaw hit me.
What? Was it a misunderstanding?
No. I hit him too.
Jim, it's all my fault. If it weren't for me, Ruby wouldn't have laid a hand on you.
It's not your fault. She bullied you first. I won't let anyone hurt you.
Jim, how could you hit John's daughter? What's going on?
She didn't hold back either.
Huh? Are you injured anywhere?
You're despicable.
Mrs. Shaw, I'm sorry. Jim only fought Ruby because he was defending me.
It has nothing to do with you. She started it.
You must be the Wright's long-lost daughter. You look just like your father. Are you badly hurt?
I'm fine. Just some temporarily ringing. My hearing's fine now.
She's not fine. She nearly ruptured her eardrum. Alas, kids these days.
Ruby, I apologize on Jim's behalf. Don't worry. My husband and I won't let him off the hook.
Zinnia, are you all right?
Mom, I'm fine.
Oh, that's good to hear. I'm glad it's nothing serious. Ruby? What happened to your face?
Mom, it's all my fault. If it weren't for me, Jim wouldn't have fought with Ruby.
She hit you first. Stop taking the blame.
She hit you? Ruby, you've gone too far.
Ruby, how could you hit Zinnia? I told you. Both you and Zinnia are my daughters. Stop picking on her.
Xenia Wright, you're quite the actor.
Ian, I wasn't acting. I don't understand why Ruby would frame me.
Shut up. You've been talking for ages. Now, it's my turn to speak. Can anyone tell me what runt means?
Who is she? I've never seen her before.
I saw you guys getting out of the same car. Is she your relative?
She's my new runt. No, it wasn't me.
If you cross someone in the student council, they'll call you a runt. The runt is bullied by the entire school. Surely you know that. Well, why are you silent?
Zinnia, what's going on? How can you say that about Ruby?
Blood ties are really strange. Your real parents treat me like a dog, and you call me a runt. In that sense, you're just like them.
Ruby, knock it off. We'll deal with it at home.
You had no problem scolding me just now, but the moment it comes to Xenia, you make me shut up. You're truly Xenia's devoted brother. And mother.
To me, you're all the same.
This is how school's foreign, where everyone calls Xenia the queen. The moment Xenia declared me a runt, the entire school was thrilled. They were figuring out how to torment me to win her favor. Shall I share it? With everyone? No? Forget it then. The students here are incredibly efficient. When the teacher brought me to class, my desk was already covered with trash. Even my new books had been ripped to shreds. The teachers here are just as efficient. As soon as I requested the CCTV footage from the homeroom teacher, I had it by the second period.
Here it is.
Are you sure you don't want me to send it? Not sure you'll see it clearly. Xenia sat behind me, smiling as they tore my books. We sure paid a lot to raise such a fine mutt. For my own safety, I told my classmates that I'm the real daughter of the Wright family. Xenia didn't like that. She told me she'd show me who the Wright family's real daughter is. Then she skipped class and ran off. Looking back now, she must have gone off to find Jim. Who's looking for me?
Jim Shaw wants you at the student council office. He'll be mad if you're late.
Mom.
It's all right. Don't cry. I won't allow anyone to mistreat you. Ruby, this is Xenia's room. Your room is next door. Ian will take you there. Huh?
This isn't the place to throw a tantrum. Come with me.
I've seen the room next door. There's no balcony, no walk-in closet. I don't want to live there.
Ruby, be good.
The adopted daughter gets the big room, while the real daughter gets the small room. How does that make any sense?
What adopted daughter? Both you and Xenia are my daughters. I know you're upset, but Xenia is a victim too.
Mom, please let me go. I don't want to be in Ruby's way.
Xenia, this is your room. No one can kick you out.
You both say she's the victim. But for the past 16 years, she's lived as a spoiled princess, while I was treated like an animal. Wait. Her real parents do care about her. Otherwise, they wouldn't have switched us. Had our lives not been switched, she wouldn't have suffered like I did. Fortunately, I was lucky enough to return. Otherwise, I wouldn't even know how to escape them. I'm back. But you and the adopted daughter have already grown attached. If you want her to stay, she'll live comfortably because our family is wealthy and powerful. She obviously benefits the most. Yet you call her the victim. Now, my own mother and brother are putting me in the small room, while she gets the big one. If that's what being a victim is, I want to be one too.
Ruby, the past is the past. Stop dwelling on it. Just because you suffered, do you have to make Xenia suffer too? How can you be so cruel?
Silence! Ruby, I know you suffered a lot. Tell me what you want. I'll sort it out.
Thank you, Dad. Can we get all the furniture changed in 3 hours?
Dad.
Oh. Sure. I promise you, Xenia will clear the room for you shortly.
Xenia, I get that you're upset. It's okay to switch rooms, huh? This bangle is a family heirloom. I'm giving it to you now. You'll always be a Wright.
Thank you, Mom. But Ruby just got back. You should give her this family heirloom as a welcome gift.
Xenia, you're so thoughtful. Ruby doesn't...
Thank you. I've never actually worn any jewelry before. This bangle is so pretty. I love it.
Sue, make sure they bring over more clothes and jewelry. Ruby has been through so much. We need to give her everything she's been missing.
All right. I'll make the arrangements. Xenia, I'll take you to your new room.
Dad, I'm going with them.
Dad, did I say something wrong?
My dear, I know you've been hurt.
Dad! Mom and Ian are so unfair. And they don't care about me at all. I don't like them. From now on, you're the only family I have.
Silly girl. You're just overthinking. They really do care about you. Don't worry. As long as I'm here, you'll be well taken care of.
I don't let myself get pushed around. I don't want to struggle later in life. John is the only person I need to win over.
Ruby, how are the Wrights? Are they nice? Do they treat you well?
Everything's under control. Don't worry.
Only a fool would worry about you. It's the Wrights who should be worried. Looks like they've let you down after all.
The Wright family's wealth hasn't disappointed me. I'm very pleased with everything.
Today's Ruby's first day at school. Xenia, you're popular. Be sure to watch out for Ruby.
Don't worry. I'll take good care of her. Ian has already given his student council friends a heads up, right?
Mom, Dad, don't worry. No one in Jackson would dare to mess with us Wrights.
All right. Ruby, call me if anything happens at school, all right?
Dad, don't worry. If anything happens, it won't be me. It'll be someone else.
Settle down, everyone. Meet our new classmate, Ruby Wright. Come on in.
Who is she? I've never seen her before.
I saw you guys getting out of the same car. Is she your relative?
She's my new runt.
Her new runt? What's she talking about? What?
This is our new classmate, Ruby Wright. Would any of you like to share a desk with her?
There's an open seat right in front of me. The new girl can sit here. We'll make sure to take good care of her.
Nice to meet you all. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ruby Wright. My dad is John Wright of Wright Corp. I'm his only daughter. By the way, Xenia's biological mother used to be a nanny in my family. She selfishly swapped my identity with hers, but my parents were kind enough to adopt Xenia as their own daughter.
Really? Turns out Xenia is a fake heiress. Fake heiress?
Shut up!
Who did this?
Why are you looking at me? Ruby, have you lost your mind?
I'm just tidying up.
Quiet down, everyone. Guys, help tidy up the place. From now on, anyone who brings this kind of junk into the classroom will face school discipline.
Thank you.
You don't have to be so formal. If you need anything, just let me know.
How dare you announce this without telling Mom and Dad? They won't let you get away with it.
I'm their biological daughter. I'm just telling the truth. What can they possibly do?
I'll show you who the real daughter of the Wright family is.
Hey!
I'm starving. Let's eat.
Yeah, let's go.
Ruby, Jim Shaw wants you at the student council office.
Who's Jim Shaw? Why is he asking for me?
He's the future heir of the Shaw family. He was engaged to Xenia from a young age. They grew up together and were very close.
I see. Do you mean the Shaw family, one of Jackson's two biggest powers, along with the Wrights?
You shouldn't go first. Call your family. If your dad steps in, Jim probably won't give you a hard time.
Thank you. But no need for that. So this is the charm of money. I love it. I used to scrape by the bottom of the city. Now, I'm at the very top of the wealth and power ladder.
Look who showed up. You've got some nerve.
Don't you know how to greet someone? Where are your manners? Don't you know how to greet someone? Huh? Where are your manners?
You want me to greet you? Who do you think you are?
You're asking for it.
My dear sister, why are you acting so aggressive? He was just joking.
Really? Does that mean I can joke with you like this? Also, I'm not your sister. We're not related by blood.
Ruby, don't say that. You're scaring me.
My family has taken care of you. But you didn't defend me while I was being bullied. You even turned your back on me. You're such an ungrateful brat.
That's not true.
Shut up. Ruby Wright, I'm warning you. Xenia is my fiancée. If you dare bully her, you will regret it.
How so?
Trust me, you don't want to know.
Injunction. If Jim wants someone gone, it's as simple as saying so. Apologize to Xenia now, or you'll be in trouble.
Get on your knees and apologize.
You're laughing? Are you crazy?
Forest people are full of illnesses. Stay away from her. You might catch it.
We don't have a monarchy anymore. You really think you're Jackson's prince? Just because your minions treat you like one?
Ruby, know your place. If you bother Xenia again, you'll wish you weren't born.
How disgusting. I hate touching filthy stuff.
Ruby, are you crazy? How dare you lay a hand on Jim?
Shut up. Who are you to raise your voice at me?
You're the one who should shut up. A hillbilly like you has no right to boss her around.
Jim, don't be mad. Ruby is the Wright's real daughter. I should be thankful she even lets me stay in the house.
Xenia, she's bullying you because you're kind. Your parents do see you as their own. Besides, you've got me. No one can hurt you.
She's a nobody who thinks she can throw her weight around here.
No wonder Ian asked us to watch out for Xenia. He knew you'd pick on her.
Ian and Jim both have Xenia's back. Do yourself a favor and apologize to her.
So you told me to come here just to slap a label on me and put me in my place? Please, you're not even worthy. What a bunch of cowards.
Ruby!
Don't touch me!
Xenia, are you okay?
No, I'm fine, Jim. Ruby didn't mean it.
I warned you. You will pay for messing with Xenia.
You started it. Trash.
You're such a bitch!
Jim, how are you?
I hear this seat's called the throne. I'll admit it. It does feel like it.
Ruby, it's one thing for you to bully me. How dare you hurt Jim so badly? If he's injured, the Shaw family won't spare you.
Why are you yelling at me? You're scaring me. How terrifying. How do schools usually handle student fighting? I think we're supposed to report it to a teacher. Mr. Bart, Jim Shaw hit me.
What? Was it a misunderstanding?
No. I hit him too.
Jim, it's all my fault. If it weren't for me, Ruby wouldn't have laid a hand on you.
It's not your fault. She bullied you first. I won't let anyone hurt you.
Jim, how could you hit John's daughter? What's going on?
She didn't hold back either.
Huh? Are you injured anywhere?
You're despicable.
Mrs. Shaw, I'm sorry. Jim only fought Ruby because he was defending me.
It has nothing to do with you. She started it.
You must be the Wright's long-lost daughter. You look just like your father. Are you badly hurt?
I'm fine. Just some temporarily ringing. My hearing's fine now.
She's not fine. She nearly ruptured her eardrum. Alas, kids these days.
Ruby, I apologize on Jim's behalf. Don't worry. My husband and I won't let him off the hook.
Xenia, are you all right?
Mom, I'm fine.
Oh, that's good to hear. I'm glad it's nothing serious. Ruby? What happened to your face?
Mom, it's all my fault. If it weren't for me, Jim wouldn't have fought with Ruby.
She hit you first. Stop taking the blame.
She hit you? Ruby, you've gone too far.
Ruby, how could you hit Xenia? I told you. Both you and Xenia are my daughters. Stop picking on her.
Xenia Wright, you're quite the actor.
Ian, I wasn't acting. I don't understand why Ruby would frame me.
Shut up. You've been talking for ages. Now, it's my turn to speak. Can anyone tell me what runt means?
Who is she? I've never seen her before.
I saw you guys getting out of the same car. Is she your relative?
She's my new runt. No, it wasn't me.
If you cross someone in the student council, they'll call you a runt. The runt is bullied by the entire school. Surely you know that. Well, why are you silent?
Xenia, what's going on? How could you say that about Ruby?
Blood ties are really strange. Your real parents treat me like a dog, and you call me a runt. In that sense, you're just like them.
Ruby, knock it off. We'll deal with it at home.
You had no problem scolding me just now, but the moment it comes to Xenia, you make me shut up. You're truly Xenia's devoted brother. And mother.
To me, you're all the same.
This is how school's foreign. where everyone calls Xenia the queen. The moment Xenia declared me a runt, the entire school was thrilled. They were figuring out how to torment me to win her favor. Shall I share it? With everyone? No? Forget it then. The students here are incredibly efficient. When the teacher brought me to class, my desk was already covered with trash. Even my new books had been ripped to shreds. The teachers here are just as efficient. As soon as I requested the CCTV footage from the homeroom teacher, I had it by the second period.
Here it is.
Are you sure you don't want me to send it? Not sure you'll see it clearly. Xenia sat behind me, smiling as they tore my books. We sure paid a lot to raise such a fine nut. For my own safety, I told my classmates that I'm the real daughter of the Wright family. Xenia didn't like that. She told me she'd show me who the Wright family's real daughter is. Then she skipped class and ran off. Looking back now, she must have gone off to find Jim. Who's looking for me?
Jim Shaw wants you at the student council office. He'll be mad if you're late.
I'm the rightful heiress deliberately switched at birth. I grew up in the gutter among scoundrels, seeing the darkest sides of the world.
Miss Wright, please come in. Miss and Mrs. Wright are waiting for you.
Today marks my first day back in my real family.
So this is the lost heiress? She looks like a country bumpkin.
Keep your voice down. I heard that she'd seduced her adoptive father when she was 12 and almost killed her adoptive mother. She's a born troublemaker.
Ruby Wright, you're good for nothing. I've taken you in all these years. It's time you repay me.
Bastard. If you can't control your urges, I'll make sure you lose it.
Ruby Wright! You slut! How dare you seduce my husband! I'll fight you to the end!
Stop spouting nonsense. Get back to work. Miss Ruby, Mr. Ian has made it clear. Don't try to steal Miss Xenia's spotlight. She's been spoiled and can't handle any kind of slight.
Miss Xenia?
Yes, please follow me.
Steal her spotlight? Someone who survived the gutter doesn't care for anyone's attention or pity. I want money and power I can actually call my own.
Mr. and Mrs. Wright. Miss Wright is back.
Yes, the resemblance is uncanny. You're definitely my daughter.
My dear! You must have suffered. Now that you're back, those tough days are over. All right?
The Wright seems somewhat guilty toward me, except for my brother and adopted sister.
Now that you're reunited, I won't get in the way.
Xenia! Xenia!
Xenia's been spoiled her whole life. She can't handle it yet. Try to cut her some slack. All right?
Cut her some slack? Why should I? Why should I cut her any slack? She's the one who's lived in luxury for 16 years, while I was treated like dirt in her house.
It has nothing to do with her. Xenia doesn't know anything. She's a victim too.
Does that mean you've decided to let her stay?
I understand how you feel, but you know what kind of people that family is. After all, I raised Xenia. I couldn't bring myself to send her to hell.
All right, I get it. But I'm your flesh and blood, while she's adopted. I don't want our positions confused.
You're both daughters of the Wright family. There's no difference between you two. Besides, Xenia's been feeling guilty and upset. If we tell others she's adopted... Dad, Xenia has been spoiled by us. She can't handle it.
Ruby.
She's never faced real hardship, but I grew up abused. So you think my life is worthless, and I can accept this. Am I right?
That's not what I mean.
Letting her stay is my biggest concession. If you think the adopted daughter is more important, you can send me back.
All right, Ruby. I promise you.
Sure enough, just showing my trauma is enough to stir guilt in my so-called family. After all, it's human nature to favor the weak.
Dad, this is...
Enough. Ruby has suffered so much out there. Now that she's finally back, I'll never let her suffer again.
But...
Ruby, you must be tired after your journey. Your mom has a room ready for you. Let's go see it.
Sure. Dad, I don't like this room. It's too small.
You're quite picky. Well, your countryside house is better than this?
Don't talk to her like that. Ruby, just tell me what kind of room that you want. I'll get it arranged.
I want to check out that room.
Sure.
Dad.
Mom, just let me go. I don't want to get in Ruby's way. She's a real daughter.
Nonsense! You'll always be my daughter. I won't let you leave, all right?
Mom is right. Xenia, you'll always be my sister. No one can ever change that.
Ian.
Dad, I'll take this room. I like everything about it. But I want to get a new set of furniture.
Ruby, what do you mean? It's all right. Don't cry. I won't allow anyone to mistreat you. Ruby, this is Xenia's room. Your room is next door. Ian will take you there. Huh?
This isn't the place to throw a tantrum. Come with me.
I've seen the room next door. There's no balcony, no walk-in closet. I don't want to live there.
Ruby, be good.
The adopted daughter gets the big room, while the real daughter gets the small room. How does that make any sense?
What adopted daughter? Both you and Xenia are my daughters. I know you're upset, but Xenia is a victim too.
Mom, please let me go. I don't want to be in Ruby's way.
Xenia, this is your room. No one can kick you out.
You both say she's the victim. But for the past 16 years, she's lived as a spoiled princess, while I was treated like an animal. Wait. Her real parents do care about her. Otherwise, they wouldn't have switched us. Had our lives not been switched, she wouldn't have suffered like I did. Fortunately, I was lucky enough to return. Otherwise, I wouldn't even know how to escape them. I'm back. But you and the adopted daughter have already grown attached. If you want her to stay, she'll live comfortably because our family is wealthy and powerful. She obviously benefits the most. Yet you call her the victim. Now, my own mother and brother are putting me in the small room Well, she gets the big one. If that's what being a victim is, I want to be one too.
Ruby, the past is the past. Stop dwelling on it. Just because you suffered, do you have to make Xenia suffer too? How can you be so cruel?
Silence! Ruby, I know you suffered a lot. Tell me what you want. I'll sort it out.
Thank you, Dad. Can we get all the furniture changed in 3 hours?
Dad.
Oh. Sure. I promise you, Xenia will clear the room for you shortly.
Xenia, I get that you're upset. It's okay to switch rooms, huh? This bangle is a family heirloom. I'm giving it to you now. You'll always be a Wright.
Thank you, Mom. But Ruby just got back. You should give her this family heirloom as a welcome gift.
Xenia, you're so thoughtful. Ruby doesn't...
Thank you. I've never actually worn any jewelry before. This bangle is so pretty. I love it.
Sue, make sure they bring over more clothes and jewelry. Ruby has been through so much. We need to give her everything she's been missing.
All right. I'll make the arrangements. Xenia, I'll take you to your new room.
Dad, I'm going with them.
Dad, did I say something wrong?
My dear, I know you've been hurt.
Dad, Mom and Ian are so unfair. And they don't care about me at all. I don't like them. From now on, you're the only family I have.
Silly girl, you're just overthinking. They really do care about you. Don't worry. As long as I'm here, you'll be well taken care of.
I don't let myself get pushed around. I don't want to struggle later in life. John is the only person I need to win over.
Ruby, how are the Wrights? Are they nice? Do they treat you well?
Everything's under control. Don't worry.
Only a fool would worry about you. It's the Wrights who should be worried. Looks like they've let you down after all.
The Wright family's wealth hasn't disappointed me. I'm very pleased with everything.
Today's Ruby's first day at school. Xenia, you're popular. Be sure to watch out for Ruby.
Don't worry. I'll take good care of her. Ian has already given his student council friends a heads up, right?
Mom, Dad, don't worry. No one in Jackson would dare to mess with us Wrights.
All right. Ruby, call me if anything happens at school, all right?
Dad, don't worry. If anything happens, it won't be me. It'll be someone else.
Settle down, everyone. Meet our new classmate, Ruby Wright. Come on in.
Who is she? I've never seen her before.
I saw you guys getting out of the same car. Is she your relative?
She's my new runt.
Her new runt? What's she talking about? What?
This is our new classmate, Ruby Wright. Would any of you like to share a desk with her?
There's an open seat right in front of me. The new girl can sit here. We'll make sure to take good care of her.
Nice to meet you all. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ruby Wright. My dad is John Wright of Wright Corp. I'm his only daughter. By the way, Xenia's biological mother used to be a nanny in my family. She selfishly swapped my identity with hers, but my parents were kind enough to adopt Xenia as their own daughter.
Really? Turns out Xenia is a fake heiress.
Fake heiress?
Shut up!
Who did this?
Why are you looking at me? Ruby, have you lost your mind?
I'm just tidying up.
Quiet down, everyone. Guys, help tidy up the place. From now on, anyone who brings this kind of junk into the classroom will face school discipline.
Thank you.
You don't have to be so formal. If you need anything, just let me know.
How dare you announce this without telling Mom and Dad? They won't let you get away with it.
I'm their biological daughter. I'm just telling the truth. What can they possibly do?
I'll show you who the real daughter of the Wright family is.
Hey!
I'm starving. Let's eat.
Yeah, let's go.
Ruby, Jim Shaw wants you at the student council office.
Who's Jim Shaw? Why is he asking for me?
He's the future heir of the Shaw family. He was engaged to Xenia from a young age. They grew up together and were very close.
I see. Do you mean the Shaw family, one of Jackson's two biggest powers, along with the Wrights?
You shouldn't go first. Call your family. If your dad steps in, Jim probably won't give you a hard time.
Thank you. But no need for that. So this is the charm of money. I love it. I used to scrape by the bottom of the city. Now, I'm at the very top of the wealth and power ladder.
Look who showed up. You've got some nerve.
Don't you know how to greet someone? Where are your manners?
It's all right. Don't cry. I won't allow anyone to mistreat you. Ruby, This is Xenia's room. Your room is next door. Ian will take you there. Huh?
This isn't the place to throw a tantrum. Come with me.
I've seen the room next door. There's no balcony, no walk-in closet. I don't want to live there.
Ruby, be good.
The adopted daughter gets the big room, while the real daughter gets the small room. How does that make any sense?
What adopted daughter? Both you and Xenia are my daughters. I know you're upset, but Xenia is a victim too.
Mom, please let me go. I don't want to be in Ruby's way.
Xenia, this is your room. No one can kick you out.
You both say she's the victim. But for the past 16 years, she's lived as a spoiled princess, while I was treated like an animal. Wait. Her real parents do care about her. Otherwise, they wouldn't have switched us. Had our lives not been switched, she wouldn't have suffered like I did. Fortunately, I was lucky enough to return. Otherwise, I wouldn't even know how to escape them. I'm back. But you and the adopted daughter have already grown attached. If you want her to stay, she'll live comfortably because our family is wealthy and powerful. She obviously benefits the most. Yet you call her the victim. Now, my own mother and brother are putting me in the small room, while she gets the big one. If that's what being a victim is, I want to be one too.
Ruby, the past is the past. Stop dwelling on it. Just because you suffered, do you have to make Xenia suffer too? How can you be so cruel?
Silence! Ruby, I know you suffered a lot. Tell me what you want. I'll sort it out.
Thank you, Dad. Can we get all the furniture changed in 3 hours?
Dad.
Oh. Sure. I promise you, Xenia will clear the room for you shortly.
Xenia, I get that you're upset. It's okay to switch rooms, huh? This bangle is a family heirloom. I'm giving it to you now. You'll always be a Wright.
Thank you, Mom. But Ruby just got back. You should give her this family heirloom as a welcome gift.
Xenia, you're so thoughtful. Ruby doesn't...
Thank you. I've never actually worn any jewelry before. This bangle is so pretty. I love it.
Sue, make sure they bring over more clothes and jewelry. Ruby has been through so much. We need to give her everything she's been missing.
All right. I'll make the arrangements. Xenia, I'll take you to your new room.
Dad, I'm going with them.
Dad, did I say something wrong?
My dear, I know you've been hurt.
Dad, Mom and Ian are so unfair. And they don't care about me at all. I don't like them. From now on, You're the only family I have.
Silly girl. You're just overthinking. They really do care about you. Don't worry. As long as I'm here, you'll be well taken care of.
I don't let myself get pushed around. I don't want to struggle later in life. John is the only person I need to win over.
Ruby, how are the Wrights? Are they nice? Do they treat you well?
Everything's under control. Don't worry.
Only a fool would worry about you. It's the Wrights who should be worried. Looks like they've let you down after all.
The Wright family's wealth hasn't disappointed me. I'm very pleased with everything.
Today's Ruby's first day at school. Xenia, you're popular. Be sure to watch out for Ruby.
Don't worry. I'll take good care of her. Ian has already given his student council friends a heads up, right?
Mom, Dad, don't worry. No one in Jackson would dare to mess with us Wrights.
All right. Ruby, call me if anything happens at school, all right?
Dad, don't worry. If anything happens, it won't be me. It'll be someone else.
Settle down, everyone. Meet our new classmate, Ruby Wright. Come on in.
Who is she? I've never seen her before.
I saw you guys getting out of the same car. Is she your relative?
She's my new runt.
Her new runt? What's she talking about? What?
This is our new classmate, Ruby Wright. Would any of you like to share a desk with her?
There's an open seat right in front of me. The new girl can sit here. We'll make sure to take good care of her.
Nice to meet you all. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ruby Wright. My dad is John Wright of Wright Corp. I'm his only daughter. By the way, Xenia's biological mother used to be a nanny in my family. She selfishly swapped my identity with hers, but my parents were kind enough to adopt Xenia as their own daughter.
Really? Turns out Xenia is a fake heiress.
Fake heiress?
Shut up!
Who did this?
Why are you looking at me? Ruby, have you lost your mind?
I'm just tidying up.
Quiet down, everyone. Guys, help tidy up the place. From now on, anyone who brings this kind of junk into the classroom will face school discipline.
Thank you.
You don't have to be so formal. If you need anything, just let me know.
How dare you announce this without telling Mom and Dad? They won't let you get away with it.
I'm their biological daughter. I'm just telling the truth. What can they possibly do?
I'll show you who the real daughter of the Wright family is.
Hey!
I'm starving. Let's eat.
Yeah, let's go.
Ruby, Jim Shaw wants you at the student council office.
Who's Jim Shaw? Why is he asking for me?
He's the future heir of the Shaw family. He was engaged to Xenia from a young age. They grew up together and were very close.
I see. Do you mean the Shaw family, one of Jackson's two biggest powers, along with the Wrights?
You shouldn't go first. Call your family. If your dad steps in, Jim probably won't give you a hard time.
Thank you. But no need for that. So this is the charm of money. I love it. I used to scrape by the bottom of the city. Now, I'm at the very top of the wealth and power ladder.
Look who showed up. You've got some nerve.
Don't you know how to greet someone? Where are your manners? Don't you know how to greet someone? Huh? Where are your manners?
You want me to greet you? Who do you think you are?
You're asking for it.
My dear sister, why are you acting so aggressive? He was just joking.
Really? Does that mean I can joke with you like this? Also, I'm not your sister. We're not related by blood.
Ruby, don't say that. You're scaring me.
My family has taken care of you. But you didn't defend me while I was being bullied. You even turned your back on me. You're such an ungrateful brat.
That's not true.
Shut up. Ruby Wright, I'm warning you. Xenia is my fiancée. If you dare bully her, you will regret it.
How so?
Trust me, you don't want to know.
Injunction. If Jim wants someone gone, it's as simple as saying so. Apologize to Xenia now, or you'll be in trouble.
Get on your knees and apologize.
You're laughing? Are you crazy?
Foreign people are full of illnesses. Stay away from her. You might catch it.
We don't have a monarchy anymore. You really think you're Jackson's prince? Just because your minions treat you like one?
Ruby, know your place. If you bother Xenia again, you'll wish you weren't born.
How disgusting. I hate touching filthy stuff.
Ruby, are you crazy? How dare you lay a hand on Jim?
Shut up. Who are you to raise your voice at me?
You're the one who should shut up. A hillbilly like you has no right to boss her around.
Jim, don't be mad. Ruby is the Wright's real daughter. I should be thankful she even lets me stay in the house.
Xenia, she's bullying you because you're kind. Your parents do see you as their own. Besides, you've got me. No one can hurt you.
She's a nobody who thinks she can throw her weight around here.
No wonder Ian asked us to watch out for Xenia. He knew you'd pick on her.
Ian and Jim both have Xenia's back. Do yourself a favor and apologize to her.
So you told me to come here just to slap a label on me and put me in my place? Please, you're not even worthy. What a bunch of cowards.
Ruby!
Don't touch me.
Xenia, are you okay?
No, I'm fine, Jim. Ruby didn't mean it.
I warned you. You will pay for messing with Xenia.
You started it. Crash.
You're such a bitch!
Jim, how are you?
I hear this seat's called the throne. I'll admit it. It does feel like it.
Ruby, it's one thing for you to bully me. How dare you hurt Jim so badly? If he is injured, the Shaw family won't spare you.
Why are you yelling at me? You're scaring me. How terrifying. How do schools usually handle student fighting? I think we're supposed to report it to a teacher. Mr. Bart, Jim Shaw hit me.
What? Was it a misunderstanding?
No. I hit him too.
Jim, it's all my fault. If it weren't for me, Ruby wouldn't have laid a hand on you.
It's not your fault. She bullied you first. I won't let anyone hurt you.
Jim, how could you hit John's daughter? What's going on?
She didn't hold back either.
Huh? Are you injured anywhere?
You're despicable.
Mrs. Shaw, I'm sorry. Jim only fought Ruby because he was defending me.
It has nothing to do with you. She started it.
You must be the Wright's long-lost daughter. You look just like your father. Are you badly hurt?
I'm fine. Just some temporary ringing. My hearing's fine now.
She's not fine. She nearly ruptured her eardrum. Alas, kids these days.
Ruby, I apologize on Jim's behalf. Don't worry. My husband and I won't let him off the hook.
Zinnia, are you all right?
Mom, I'm fine.
Oh, that's good to hear. I'm glad it's nothing serious. Ruby? What happened to your face?
Mom, it's all my fault. If it weren't for me, Jim wouldn't have fought with Ruby.
She hit you first. Stop taking the blame.
She hit you? Ruby, you've gone too far.
Ruby, how could you hit Xenia? I told you. Both you and Xenia are my daughters. Stop picking on her.
Xenia Wright, you're quite the actor.
Ian, I wasn't acting. I don't understand why Ruby would frame me.
Shut up. You've been talking for ages. Now, it's my turn to speak. Can anyone tell me what runt means?
Who is she? I've never seen her before.
I saw you guys getting out of the same car. Is she your relative?
She's my new runt. No, it wasn't me.
If you cross someone in the student council, they'll call you a runt. The runt is bullied by the entire school. Surely you know that. Well, why are you silent?
Xenia, what's going on? How can you say that about Ruby?
Blood ties are really strange. Your real parents treat me like a dog, and you call me a runt. In that sense, you're just like them.
Ruby, knock it off. We'll deal with it at home.
You had no problem scolding me just now, but the moment it comes to Xenia, you make me shut up. You're truly Xenia's devoted brother. And mother.
To me, you're all the same.
This is how school's foreign, where everyone calls Xenia the queen. The moment Xenia declared me a runt, the entire school was thrilled. They were figuring out how to torment me to win her favor. Shall I share it? With everyone? No? Forget it then. The students here are incredibly efficient. When the teacher brought me to class, my desk was already covered with trash. Even my new books had been ripped to shreds. The teachers here are just as efficient. As soon as I requested the CCTV footage from the homeroom teacher, I had it by the second period.
Here it is.
Are you sure you don't want me to send it? Not sure you'll see it clearly. Xenia sat behind me, smiling as they tore my books. We sure paid a lot to raise such a fine mutt. For my own safety, I told my classmates that I'm the real daughter of the Wright family. Xenia didn't like that. She told me she'd show me who the Wright family's real daughter is. Then she skipped class and ran off. Looking back now, she must have gone off to find Jim. Who's looking for me?
Jim Shaw wants you at the student council office. He'll be mad if you're late.
I'm the rightful heiress deliberately switched at birth. I grew up in the gutter among scoundrels, seeing the darkest sides of the world.
Miss Wright, please come in. Miss and Mrs. Wright are waiting for you.
Today marks my first day back in my real family.
So this is the lost heiress? She looks like a country bumpkin.
Keep your voice down. I heard that she'd seduced her adoptive father when she was 12 and almost killed her adoptive mother. She's a born troublemaker.
Ruby Wright, you're good for nothing. I've taken you in all these years. It's time you repay me.
Bastard. If you can't control your urges, I'll make sure you lose it.
Ruby Wright! You slut! How dare you seduce my husband! I'll fight you to the end!
Stop spouting nonsense. Get back to work. Miss Ruby, Mr. Ian has made it clear. Don't try to steal Miss Zena's spotlight. She's been spoiled and can't handle any kind of slight.
Miss Xenia?
Yes, please follow me.
Steal her spotlight? Someone who survived the gutter doesn't care for anyone's attention or pity. I want money and power I can actually call my own.
Mr. and Mrs. Wright. Miss Wright is back.
Yes, the resemblance is uncanny. You're definitely my daughter.
My dear! You must have suffered. Now that you're back, those tough days are over. All right?
The Wrights seem somewhat guilty toward me, except for my brother and adopted sister.
Now that you're reunited, I won't get in the way.
Xenia! Xenia!
Xenia's been spoiled her whole life. She can't handle it yet. Try to cut her some slack. All right?
Cut her some slack? Why should I? Why should I cut her any slack? She's the one who's lived in luxury for 16 years, while I was treated like dirt in her house.
It has nothing to do with her. Xenia doesn't know anything. She's a victim too.
Does that mean you've decided to let her stay?
I understand how you feel, but you know what kind of people that family is. After all, I raised Xenia. I couldn't bring myself to send her to hell.
All right, I get it. But I'm your flesh and blood, while she's adopted. I don't want our positions confused.
You're both daughters of the Wright family. There's no difference between you two. Besides, Xenia's been feeling guilty and upset. If we tell others she's adopted... Dad, Xenia has been spoiled by us. She can't handle it.
Ruby.
She's never faced real hardship, but I grew up abused. So you think my life is worthless, and I can accept this. Am I right?
That's not what I mean.
Letting her stay is my biggest concession. If you think the adopted daughter is more important, you can send me back.
All right, Ruby. I promise you.
Sure enough, just showing my trauma is enough to stir guilt in my so-called family. After all, it's human nature to favor the weak.
Dad, this is...
Enough. Ruby has suffered so much out there. Now that she's finally back, I'll never let her suffer again.
But...
Ruby, you must be tired after your journey. Your mom has a room ready for you. Let's go see it.
Sure. Dad, I don't like this room. It's too small.
You're quite picky. Well, your countryside house is better than this?
Don't talk to her like that. Ruby, just tell me what kind of room that you want. I'll get it arranged.
I want to check out that room.
Sure.
Dad.
Mom, just let me go. I don't want to get in Ruby's way. She's your real daughter.
Nonsense! You'll always be my daughter. I won't let you leave, all right?
Mom is right. Xenia, you'll always be my sister. No one can ever change that.
Ian.
Dad, I'll take this room. I like everything about it. But I want to get a new set of furniture.
Ruby, what do you mean? It's all right. Don't cry. I won't allow anyone to mistreat you. Ruby, this is Xenia's room. Your room is next door. Ian will take you there. Huh?
This isn't the place to throw a tantrum. Come with me.
I've seen the room next door. There's no balcony, no walk-in closet. I don't want to live there.
Ruby, be good.
The adopted daughter gets the big room, while the real daughter gets the small room. How does that make any sense?
What adopted daughter? Both you and Xenia are my daughters. I know you're upset, but Xenia is a victim too.
Mom, please let me go. I don't want to be in Ruby's way.
Xenia, this is your room. No one can kick you out.
You both say she's the victim. But for the past 16 years, she's lived as a spoiled princess, while I was treated like an animal. Wait. Her real parents do care about her. Otherwise, they wouldn't have switched us. Had our lives not been switched, she wouldn't have suffered like I did. Fortunately, I was lucky enough to return. Otherwise, I wouldn't even know how to escape them. I'm back. But you and the adopted daughter have already grown attached. If you want her to stay, she'll live comfortably because our family is wealthy and powerful. She obviously benefits the most. Yet you call her the victim. Now, my own mother and brother are putting me in the small room while she gets the big one. If that's what being a victim is, I want to be one too.
Ruby, the past is the past. Stop dwelling on it. Just because you suffered Do you have to make Xenia suffer too? How can you be so cruel?
Silence! Ruby, I know you suffered a lot. Tell me what you want. I'll sort it out.
Thank you, Dad. Can we get all the furniture changed in 3 hours?
Dad.
Oh. Sure. I promise you, Xenia will clear the room for you shortly.
Xenia, I get that you're upset. It's okay to switch rooms, huh? This bangle is a family heirloom. I'm giving it to you now. You'll always be a Wright.
Thank you, Mom. But Ruby just got back. You should give her this family heirloom as a welcome gift.
Xenia, you're so thoughtful. Ruby doesn't...
Thank you. I've never actually worn any jewelry before. This bangle is so pretty. I love it.
Sue, make sure they bring over more clothes and jewelry. Ruby has been through so much. We need to give her everything she's been missing.
All right. I'll make the arrangements. Xenia, I'll take you to your new room.
Dad, I'm going with them.
Dad, did I say something wrong?
My dear, I know you've been hurt.
Dad, Mom and Ian are so unfair. And they don't care about me at all. I don't like them. From now on, you're the only family I have.
Silly girl, you're just overthinking. They really do care about you. Don't worry. As long as I'm here, you'll be well taken care of.
I don't let myself get pushed around. I don't want to struggle later in life. John is the only person I need to win over.
Ruby, how are the Wrights? Are they nice? Do they treat you well?
Everything's under control. Don't worry.
Only a fool would worry about you. It's the Wrights who should be worried. Looks like they've let you down after all.
The Wright family's wealth hasn't disappointed me. I'm very pleased with everything.
Today's Ruby's first day at school. Xenia, you're popular. Be sure to watch out for Ruby.
Don't worry. I'll take good care of her. Ian has already given his student council friends a heads up, right?
Mom, Dad, don't worry. No one in Jackson would dare to mess with us Wrights.
All right. Ruby, call me if anything happens at school, all right?
Dad, don't worry. If anything happens, it won't be me. It'll be someone else.
Settle down, everyone. Meet our new classmate. Ruby Wright. Come on in.
Who is she? I've never seen her before.
I saw you guys getting out of the same car. Is she your relative?
She's my new runt.
Her new runt? What's she talking about? What?
This is our new classmate, Ruby Wright. Would any of you like to share a desk with her?
There's an open seat right in front of me. The new girl can sit here. We'll make sure to take good care of her.
Nice to meet you all. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ruby Wright. My dad is John Wright of Wright Corp. I'm his only daughter. By the way, Xenia's biological mother used to be a nanny in my family. She selfishly swapped my identity with hers. But my parents were kind enough to adopt Xenia as their own daughter.
Really? Turns out Xenia is a fake heiress.
Fake heiress?
Shut up!
Who did this?
Why are you looking at me?
Ruby, have you lost your mind? I'm just tidying up.
Quiet down, everyone. Guys, help tidy up the place. From now on, anyone who brings this kind of junk into the classroom will face school discipline.
Thank you.
You don't have to be so formal. If you need anything, just let me know.
How dare you announce this without telling Mom and Dad? They won't let you get away with it.
I'm their biological daughter. I'm just telling the truth. What can they possibly do?
I'll show you who the real daughter of the Wright family is.
Hey!
I'm starving. Let's eat.
Yeah, let's go.
Ruby, Jim Shaw wants you at the student council office.
Who's Jim Shaw? Why is he asking for me?
He's the future heir of the Shaw family. He was engaged to Xenia from a young age. They grew up together and were very close.
I see. Do you mean the Shaw family, one of Zaxxon's two biggest powers, along with the Wrights?
You shouldn't go first. Call your family. If your dad steps in, Jim probably won't give you a hard time.
Thank you. But no need for that. So this is the charm of money. I love it. I used to scrape by the bottom of the city. Now, I'm at the very top of the wealth and power ladder.
Look who showed up. You've got some nerve.
Don't you know how to greet someone? Where are your manners?